Hello and welcome back to Isimo Podcast, where you can like and subscribe the video, leave a comment, and follow us on Instagram at isimopod, ISIMOPOD. Email us at isimopod@gmail.com. Anyways, now that I got that out of the way, also leave a review if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We got 12 reviews so far, and we haven't even asked for one. So thank you so much for the people that did. My name is Gerardo Alarcon.
I'm Dominic Angel.
And I'm Brian Reyes.
And I'm going to take a quick second to talk about our sponsor, Legacy Teas and Spices.
Ooh.
It's a small business run by my mother. She's been running it for 5 years. She works really hard, and she deserves your patronage. If you're into teas or you're not into teas, you're trying to drop coffee, trying to switch to something a little bit more natural, we got all kinds of hand-blended black tea, green tea, white tea, red tea, hibiscus, herbal blends, the whole 9 yards. Also, if you're into spices, we got plenty of hand-blended different spice blends that are perfect for saving time in the kitchen. All kinds of variety of flavors, from Mexican curry, Mexican flavor and curry flavor, two separate things. But I cook with this stuff. It's amazing. Give it a shot. Check out the website. It's legacyteasandspices.com and use code ISIMO20 for 20% off your order from now until June 30th, 2021.
Oh, and how are you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing good.
I'm pretty lit because we got a new audio equipment. I got my Rodecaster back. Dom has a hole in his sock.
What the fuck, dude? Nobody could see that. Why you gotta point it out for?
Nobody needed to know, but I thought it was just a funny thing to say. What are we talking about today? Great question. What are we talking about today, guys? Labor-Isimo, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Work ethic.
Yeah.
Culture surrounded about breaking your back.
Yeah. So today we'll be discussing labor. My microphone is not agreeing with me right now. Oh, it's getting a little flaccid. Let me just put it right here.
I got a pill for that.
You would, fool, with your holy ass sock and stuff.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Anyway, so we wanted to talk about labor. We recently did a Hot Cheetos episode. It was 2 weeks ago, where we discussed Richard Montañez and the travesty that is this story of PepsiCo coming out and talking shit about him.
The Flaming Hot Saga.
Yeah, the Flaming Hot Saga. And
hashtag Cheeto lies.
Hashtag Cheeto lies. Frito lies. Frito lies is like more of a pun.
It's true.
People actually use the hashtag, and I was like surprised.
Yeah, I know. My Twitter was blown up.
Yeah,
my Twitter got like, I think, 15 followers, which is like a percentage of my followers, by the way. I don't really go on Twitter that much.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, dude.
Same.
But you showed me that one hashtag, the guy that hashtagged all the hashtags that we asked.
Yeah. Carpet out the butthole.
You even covered out the butthole.
Oh, really? He pull a rug out the butthole?
Hashtag rug out the butthole. He did it. And, thank you for your support.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it is a great saying. I have used it like 5 times since the podcast.
Pull the rug out the butthole.
And you could tell who doesn't listen to the podcast when you say that around them.
Yeah. That's our check. That's our test to see which one of our friends supports us.
Hey, what's up, homie? Still got that rug in your butthole or what?
Why the fuck would you say that to me? Oh, well, sorry. I thought you supported my podcast.
Yeah, I thought you liked Isimo, dude. Anyway, so like, just to continue on from that episode that we did, PepsiCo came out with a statement saying that it was misconstrued. It's like, oh, really, fool? It was? Like, you didn't hit up all these news stations to put out this urban legend story? Sorry.
Yeah. So the whole thing with the follow-up, people kept hit all up in my comments about, like, PepsiCo released a new statement saying that they verified that he's actually true, like Richard Montañez did it. But I checked the statement that they put out, and all it does is it's like a pacifier. It reads as just a pacifier. It sounds like they just don't want to start a boycott or something. Like they're trying to get ahead of the hate. I don't think anybody expected for this story to blow up the way that it did, and that's why they just handled it so grossly.
I think they didn't expect Isimo Podcast to cover it. So let's be honest, dude. Come on.
Yeah, we kind of led the charge against.
Yeah.
Because everyone else that I heard talking about it, mostly white podcasts, are
Flaming
like
Hot Passion.
Flaming Hot Passion. Yeah, other podcasts are like, fucking treating this as a joke, not
Yeah.
taking it seriously. So I think that's what they expected more of when they put out this article.
Yeah,
Sam Dean.
Yeah, the only puns that we used were fucking you guys making fun of my story, where you guys said dangerously cheesy, and what did you say?
It ain't easy being cheesy.
Very funny. I'm laughing so hard. I was a little vulnerable during that episode, and I told you guys that I played Chester Cheetah, and you guys, used it against me. And
Yeah, but you tell me that story every week.
Were you vulnerable?
and then I'm scared to tell you guys now that I washed dishes for like 6 years.
Really?
Well, you just did though.
But so, anyways, moving on from that story, fuck PepsiCo, fuck Frito-Lay. You guys are more concerned about profits than a person's life and a livelihood, and you have to make fucking. They're gonna come out with the movie.
Yeah, just my last thing I'm just going to say about PepsiCo. I don't think that it confirms that Richard Montaña's story is true. All that they're doing is crowd control. That's all it is. They're trying to pacify people. I still believe what we talked about in the last episode is the truth. I still agree and think that the way that they treated Richard Montaña is disgusting, and it just feels like even with this statement now that they're trying to take it back, they just feel like brown people are playthings.
Yeah. They can say whatever they want about us.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. They're trying to control the narrative, and you know what? Frankly, the narrative isn't in Spanish, so I don't care. Right, guys?
Yeah.
So today we're discussing labor, and with labor comes many different topics, like what our personal experiences with it, and what the general sentiment towards Mexican labor is, right? Latino labor, whatever. Mexican, let's be honest. All three of us are Mexican.
We're Mexican, so I could only really speak to that, but I know
Yeah.
that obviously this covers a lot of different sub Latinos.
Yeah.
Not less than Latinos, different Latinos.
Sub Latinos. Whoa, dude. Let's cancel Dom.
Alternative? No,
Alternative Latinos.
But yeah, so yeah, what is your experience like?
Well, speaking of Mexican labor, there's people outside, landscapers, mowing the lawn, and you can probably hear it, which is perfect. I'm glad. I'm happy. I go out there, stop mowing the lawns.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
We're trying to get some real work done in here. Kid.
Yeah. We're podcasters. We're cleaning the landscape of society. So,
Bitchin'.
so who wants to start today?
I kind of want to start by relating it to my experience with like this Mexican work ethic and how it's been passed down. We talked about it in the Hot Cheetos episode. We've always been told as a culture, there's a pride in hard work and to do the best that you can. And so that's kind of like how I feel I've tried to take it to every position that I've had. I've worked in for a lot of different companies. I kind of bounced around a lot. But yeah, I mean, I always try to give it my best, and then you kind of as I get older, the way you feel about it is like you're not getting what you're worth.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Have you ever been fired?
Have I been fired? I've been fired from a TV show, and no, the other jobs I just quit.
What were you fired for, if you don't mind me asking?
I was fired for just generally not doing a good job, but it's not because I wasn't trying. It's because I went from working on movies to working on a TV show, and working on a TV show is a lot more hectic, a lot more moving wheels. Yeah. And I just didn't have the experience to kind of handle the job.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. Lack of experience, lack of knowledge, right? But I'm not trying to nitpick here, like, because I have plenty of evidence towards, like, what you're trying to say is like not being paid what you're worth and stuff in my experience.
Right.
But with that, whenever you did tell me that story about you getting fired, I see it as like, you don't really get the opportunities to work on set. Right. Even I was in the film industry for 3 years.
Right.
And the only time I get called to work on set now is a last minute call.
Right.
Instead of giving me the time necessary to prepare and go buy necessary items that I need to be on set. And I tell them no every time. It's like, give me more than a fucking day's notice, dude.
Yeah.
Why am I not worth the same courtesy that you were to give to other people? And why am I the last person you call?
Yeah, I get that a lot too. Like, because I used to work on set too. And one of the things was so right out of high school when I was 18, I went through a job training program where they taught us how to actually work on set, and they give us job opportunities. But one of the things they taught us was that, like, you're just supposed to get what you can take and work as hard as you can so that people will take you to the next job.
Yeah.
And so I took that work ethic with me onto every single job that I did. But all that ended up happening was that I would get free, like unpaid work, unpaid gigs. And like, it took me a while to realize it was actually like an older Latino that was a grip. No, he was he worked in the electric department. But he told me, he's like, dude, you got to stop taking free work.
Yeah.
He's like, they know that you're going to work this hard every time and they're just going to hit you up for free work.
And going on to what I was saying, because the argument would be that that's how the film industry is. But I've heard plenty of times where somebody's preparing for a feature or preparing for this and that, whatever. Right. And it's 2 or 3 weeks in the future. And I've never been given that courtesy. I have so much knowledge when it comes to grip and lighting. Right. You know, I mean, you've seen it firsthand. Yeah. I'm able to know exactly what you need. I've scouted on last minute notice for big production, big music videos and shit. And that knowledge is going to waste. You know, I wasted basically 3 years of my life for something that I can't see any return on. The only times I get hit up now are last minute gigs or insanely terrible gigs for very little pay. Right. And which I would accept, you know, I just have a standard. I have a standard for myself. And the last gig that I accepted and declined shortly after was something where he told me the pay and the days. And I said yes to that. And then he told me that I was going to be in the desert for 3 days in the middle of May, which you're not supposed to be in Glamis in spring or summertime. It's 120 degrees outside. Yeah. They close it down for a reason. There's a reason why you're able to film your fucking movie out there. And if you're paying me $600 a day, then yeah, I'll do that. But for $600 for a 3-day trip does not make sense to me. Yeah. And then on top of that, they're asking me to drive there, my own car. Right. After I accepted the gig, when it was just these 2 days for $300, 2 weeks in advance. They did give me the advance notice. So I know that it's out there. The film industry is not all last minute. Yeah. And that argument is so dumb to me when... you know, we mentioned it on a previous episode how you don't want to work with white people. Right. White people work with themselves. They hire their friends. They give them these courtesies, which is fucked up to me. I don't know. I'm gonna be redundant if I keep talking. I'm just rambling, but I hope I'm making sense. I don't know. I got offered a gig on Wednesday. Today's Saturday. Wednesday night from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. A 12 hour for I think $400. I forget. I have the text. I have the receipts. Okay. But you know, a day's notice. I'm getting my sleep schedule back. I don't want to take that kind of gig, so I didn't say yes. I said no off the bat. I said no, I'm busy. You know. Right. And the guy never responds back. You know, it's like I'm a last minute option. I am an option, which I'm grateful for that. I just wish I was looked at as somebody that's skilled and deserving of a permanent spot in somebody's roster. Right. But I don't feel that way.
Right. And I don't know this person and I don't know how they think, but I do think it kind of speaks to how society in general feels about like that Mexican work ethic. Yeah. Like they know that we work hard and then we give it our all, like in everything. And I think a lot of times if they have noticed, they're like, who do I really want to work with? Oh, my homie fucking Mark. Yeah. Like, and they'll call them up and get them the paid gigs. But then when it's somebody, Mark drops out and they need somebody last minute, oh, who can I call that I can pay less, but I know they'll do a good job?
But on that same token, I'm glad you brought that up. The hardworking Mexican work ethic. Right. Did that make sense? I don't know. But for a hardworking Mexican, they're not going to give me an easy gig. They're going to give me the hardest work for the littlest pay. Right. As opposed to a corporate shoot where you get paid $650 for a day. You set up 2 lights and you sit around all day. Right. They're not going to give me that gig. They're going to give that gig to fucking some white dude named Connor. You know what I mean? Yep. They're not going to give it to me. They're going to give me the fucking crazy, go to the desert for $300 a day, work in crazy, insane conditions and drive there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're more hungry for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the other guy, Connor, doesn't need to take the work because he's getting all these fucking Adidas commercials.
Yeah, I mean, those are hard. I worked Nike commercials. They're fucking hard. Yeah. But, you know, I worked $200. I am grateful that I never had to work for free on set. I've done it before, but for charity purposes, right? Which is something I'm willing to do. Kids in the Spotlight, shout out. Right. I did that once a year. And I got best gaffer in Venezuela for that. Thank you, Venezuela, other Latino country.
Okay. Gerardo.
Gaffer of the year, no big deal.
Yeah.
Anyways, this talk of the town. You know, and then on top of that too, before working in the film industry, just want to make sure everything's recording still. On top of working in the film industry, before that, for 8 years, I worked in the kitchens.
Right.
And I've been fired for the dumbest shit of all time. You know?
Well, tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, I got fired for not washing avocados at Chipotle when I was a manager. The reason why that's fucked up is that I was working at Chipotle for 2 years. I'm talking about Chipotle again. I was working at Chipotle for 2 years. I went on a loan to Hollywood to work for 2 weeks with my buddy Devin.
Right.
I did really well out there, and it might have been just a week, but I think it was 2 weeks. I did very well out there, and they offered me an apprenticeship at the Vine Sunset location. I came back to my location, and I told my general manager. I was a kitchen manager at the time, and there was no real upward movement out here in the IE for me personally. I've even in comedy, I'm not really a social climber. I don't like to do that. I told an audience to go kill themselves the other night, which is not something I'm proud of, but that's just, I guess, my token of, you know. Anyways, so that's who I am. I unfortunately, I would make it further if I was that way, but I don't see the benefit in doing that. Yikes. So they offered me this position here at the Hollywood Sunset and Vine location. Basically, they just told me that they loved me. I don't know if it was an apprenticeship necessarily, but they offered me a position for higher pay out in Hollywood, which is a different district than the district that I was out here for Chipotle. Right. I guess they work in districts, whatever. District manager shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
Anyways, so the next that same week, I got audited on one of my shifts where one of the more than a general manager, district manager, I don't know what he was. His name was Freddie. Fuck that fool. Came in, saw that I didn't wash avocados. Well, when I thought I did, you know, it was an honest mistake. I'm running the fucking ship for the beginning of the shift.
Right.
At the end of that shift, they suspend me, and then tell me to come back like a week later, and they fire me for not washing avocados when you don't even eat the skin of an avocado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And that opportunity is gone. Like I tried to contact the district manager of Hollywood, or, you know, the LA area.
Right.
And she was upset about it. They tried to remedy the situation and nothing got done.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like when you're in a position like that, like as a Mexican or as a brown person, as a POC, like you're often treated under, like you're given more scrutiny.
Yeah.
So,
and what I do, act more stupidly.
Yeah. Oh, wait, real quick before I go on, do you want to say anything? Do you have anything to add, Ryan?
It was more to like what you guys were saying earlier, as far as like how people value your work. You know, I don't work in the film industry, but I do like freelance artwork.
Yeah. And
I've had similar experiences where people who know me expect something cheaper because they know me. So I have to like often explain to people like, no, like last year I painted 2 paintings during Christmas. One of them was just something I was already doing. I saw this flower, I liked how it looked, and I painted it. And someone bought that from me for $20. And it was like, I'm using paint I already own. I'm using a canvas I already own. And I had made it before they saw it and liked it and they asked to buy it. Like I had already painted this.
Yeah.
Versus someone asked me for a commission. It took me 2 weeks to get it done. I had to buy supplies for it, including a new canvas and new paints, which cost me like $20. And I was up like every night painting this till it was done. So that when I charged a little more, I charged like $60. And people don't always get, like, you know, why artists charge more for certain. It's like it's not just something they're doing for fun. Like it takes effort.
Yeah.
And the more amount of effort should reflect the price.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the privilege of being a freelance artist. But sometimes you don't get that. Sometimes it's like you have to work with what your boss is telling you to work with.
Yeah. If an opportunity presents itself, it shouldn't be based on race. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does feel that way. I never got written up, dude, at Chipotle. Never had a write-up. Never had any bad thing happen to me. There's been people that have done worse and did not get anything. They didn't even get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
They were able to laugh about it and come back and, recuperate. When they actually fired me, I did not even see it coming, even after I got suspended. I was like, there's no fucking way they don't see me as an asset to the company.
That's what you think, and then they push you out of it.
Yeah.
My mom used to work for a popular company, a restaurant. She worked in the corporate offices, and she was one of 3 Latinos out of 20 people that were supervisors in this department, and she was the only female, the only woman in this. And she tells me all the time, being around all these white men, she had to work twice as hard to get the recognition. It takes twice as long, and it feels like she was always under a magnifying glass for every little thing. And she dedicated, 15, close to 20 years of her life to improve this company. She put in a lot of effort at this company. And at the end, it felt like she was getting pushed out, because she was going through a lot of stuff in her personal life. And they just they don't give a shit about that. They don't care. And they would find any little reason to give her a write-up or to get her out of there, to fire her, essentially, after 20 years. So, yeah, it's just like that whole idea in the Richard Montañez, he was quoted as saying, remember that you will always love your company more than they love you. And I think that's something that we need to remember at all times whenever we go into work for anybody, because at the end of the day, the bottom line is they care about their business. They care about their money. They might like you as a person, but more times than not, they're going to cut you loose if it means that they can make more money.
Last week's episode was about not even being able to speak Spanish.
Right.
I sometimes fear that this podcast is just an echo chamber of Latinos listening, but I would like to think that there's white people listening to this too.
Yeah.
And I would ask white people not to ask Mexicans or people that are brown if they speak fucking Spanish.
Dude.
And when you're in a work environment and you're asked if you speak Spanish and you don't, it somehow is a reflection of you as a person, Yeah, it's like, why would I hire you if you don't speak Spanish? Why would I have a Mexican work here if you can't speak Spanish?
If you can't translate for me, if I can't use you for hire a fucking translator then.
Yeah.
Learn Spanish.
Yeah. So remember I talked about I used to work for a test screening company. That was one of the things where one of the movies we did was the Zapata biopic that came out a couple years ago. We did the test screenings for that. Remember when I said that they don't want Latinos going to these test screenings unless it's specifically geared towards them? So this one the movie was in Spanish. 99% of the people that they invited were Latinos that only spoke Spanish. And at the beginning we have a prep meeting to get us going, and then they go, okay, who here speaks Spanish? And all the other Latinos raised their hands except for 2, me and this girl, and one white guy raised his hand. But the manager, who's this white guy named Paul, looks at me and he's like, "You don't speak Spanish?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "What are you talking about? Why don't you speak Spanish?" And I'm like, "I'm from California, dude. What the fuck? What do you want?
Speak Dutch? Fucking
dude. You don't speak fucking Dutch or German or any of that bullshit." It's just it's this expectation. You could tell in his face, he's like, "Why the fuck did we put this guy on the shift tonight?" I don't know. I'm a valuable worker. Why do you hire anybody if they don't speak Spanish? But you give them the good jobs, the good positions, the positions that you make more money for working.
You give them a pathway to success.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how. Exactly. You give them a pathway to success. You give them a path to move up. I worked for that company for a full year and a half, and I never got to do any of the higher responsibilities. But I saw white people predominantly, that were giving more opportunities, working the same amount or less time than I was there.
And if you're a Latino listening and people ask you if you speak Spanish, don't think that it's normal. It's not fucking normal for people to ask you if you speak a second language. White people do not get asked that question.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like, I know Spanish, and then it's like a surprise. It's not expected. It's expected of us if you're a certain color.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell by the way I speak, I don't speak Spanish. I don't have an accent. Spanish was not my first language.
Yeah.
And if I do know Spanish, then I'm highly intelligent, which I'm not. I'm willing to say I'm not. Yeah. But just, I don't know. Lower your expectations, you motherfuckers. Sorry.
Well, not lower, but change your expectations. Like
change your perspective. Are high for a low-paying job. I got paid $10 an hour to wash dishes. Yeah. When washing dishes is not fun. And it's especially not fun to wash dishes for $10 an hour.
Yeah. And
I will say, sorry, something occurred to me. It's not less about being Hispanic, but I have a couple of times received that in regards to being autistic, where they wanted to see if I was good at math. And I know that sounds silly, but it's like literally a job that we both worked. The guy brought me in and he's like, wait a minute, are you good at math? Like, because I solved a problem quickly. And I'm like, no, not more than anyone else here. I got a B in math. And he was like, fuck. Like, it looked like he was thinking, fuck, he's the bad kind of autistic. And I'm like, yeah, that's not how that works. Anyway, back to what you were saying.
Yeah, it's just wild. Like,
I mean, that sucks. That sucks. Yeah. Fucking, I mean, you are autistic, though. I'm just kidding. Like, but are you good at math?
I'm not going to paint.
You need to learn more about your...
If you throw them at me, you count them, you dropped them.
You need to learn more about your culture, Ryan.
Yeah. And then on top of that, recently I quit a job because I felt that my boss was fucking racist as shit.
Yeah.
On top of other things, I mean, everything revolved around race, in my opinion. You know, I was, I don't know if I was, told to hire Mexicans because they work harder, but that's how it felt. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. Nothing worked. The only people that worked were Mexicans for him, Yeah. I mean...
And I don't know who else worked for them because I worked for them towards the end too, but I quit when you quit. And I don't know if first of all, I don't know if he tried to hire anybody that wasn't Mexican or if anyone has worked there before, but it was like, let him try to ask white people to work as hard as we were for the rates that we were working.
Yeah.
Especially you, who essentially ran the company for him, did the jobs of 5 people so that he could go and do his own thing, and you were not getting paid what you were worth.
Yeah.
Let him try that with one of his white friends.
Yeah. Also, white friends were given opportunities on set they had a lot of upward mobility, and I watched people gain upward mobility while I'm working, and also buying gear and shit. Everything that I have, these are very expensive mics. Everything I have here is because I work so hard and because I have to be smart with my money. Right. There is no real freedom financially for me. I was working for $18 an hour, which may sound like a lot, but why? Why is that a lot? I know people that would work $35 an hour for the same position.
Yeah.
And also I was doing a lot more than those $35 an hour positions.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this idea that you should be grateful for the amount you're getting paid if it's anything above minimum wage, when minimum wage should not be so low. Mm-hmm. And then the idea that, if minimum wage is this, then why do I get paid like, and I'm an EMT or I'm a this or that, and I worked hard to get this. It's like, yeah, you're right, but you should also be paid what you're worth, and you're worth more than that $20 an hour that we want as minimum wage workers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also on top of that, I had hired another friend of mine that is Latino, and he didn't have any experience in film. I can make that connection between minimum wage as an internship and gaining the experience to gain more money.
Right.
I can make that connection. Granted, as a company, you have to be ready to let that guy go because it's a crazy standard of living out here in LA.
Right.
Especially because LA's minimum wage is 15 and San Bernardino's minimum wage is 12.
Yeah.
It's a huge jump. Now, I was told to look for somebody with experience. I looked for somebody. I found Dom. It's like there's evidence that you have experience in film, and no pay raise came with that. Even after you showed how much you know. You were still only given a $3 pay raise after 30 days.
Yeah.
Which is $15 an hour, which is not the amount of money. It gave him the ability to have us work long hours and pay little.
Yeah. And kind of touching on like the work hard mentality of a lot of Latinos, a lot of Mexicans. I mean, I hear it all the time when you talk about raising the minimum wage and trying to fight for that right, it's not just Mexicans, but obviously that's who we interact with the most. But there's a certain type of person that will say, oh, all these people want stuff for free. I work hard for what I earn. And you're right. You do work hard and you provide for your family, and you should have pride in your work, and you deserve respect for that. 100%. But also keep in mind that while you're providing for your family, so is the manager and so is the owner of the company, and they're doing a fraction of the amount of work that you're doing, and they're taking home and be able to provide that much more. It's like there's this weird pride in being able to do the most work for the least amount of pay, like that you're tough because you can get through it. And it's not about being tough. It's about knowing your worth, knowing your value, and standing up for yourself. Don't ask for things for free. You're working and you deserve to get paid for your work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's this, we found it the other day. I think the last time we were recording, there was this audio on TikTok, and the audio was from a video that's like 12 years old. Like, it was from when minimum wage they were trying to change it from 6 to 8. And the audio was titled, "It's Okay to Ask Questions." And it's literally... someone goes, "Oh, we can't change the minimum wage from 6 to 8." And the guy goes, "Why?" He goes, "Because then we have to raise the price of our products." "Why?" And people don't like that. He's like, "Why?" He's like, "People like things cheap." "Why?" "Because they don't have a lot of money." "Why?" "Because they don't get paid enough."
Exactly.
That's what it is. And the idea that things have to be more expensive because the workers get paid more is preposterous. Here's the thing. The people at the top need to make billions so that they can spend millions convincing you that you don't deserve $1.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it's been working all this time. They don't deserve to make $1 billion. They didn't work any harder than you did. They didn't do anything inherently better. There's a lot of people that really did work their way up from the bottom, rags to riches stories. I believe that those are true. But the vast majority of people is generational wealth passed down. These people are given opportunities just because of being born rich into rich networks, and like, they don't work any harder than you do. And just because you're not at the top, again, there should be no shame in like being a janitor. Those janitors are some of the hardest working people ever, right?
It's a necessary job,
and it is a vital job.
Yeah.
Like, it's crucial for society to function. There needs to be people to clean up the mess. I mean, to think that, oh, somebody deserves to be a manager of a company or an executive because they've been there the longest and that they have more experience and they have this knowledge. How many janitors do I know that have been cleaning a building for 20 years that are making the same amount of pay with no benefits? That's why unions are important. That person, how many janitors have you seen that are in their 60s that have been working at that building forever? They deserve to get paid fair and to be paid with respect, and have their paycheck reflect their dedication and their efforts.
Yeah.
Yeah, in our hometown, there's a janitor that's working there like today that was working there when he was in kindergarten.
A janitor of what?
The elementary school. Did I not say that? The elementary school. Like, they've had the same janitor for the last like 40 years.
You said hometown, and I was like,
yeah,
does he clean up the streets?
This janitor from our hometown's elementary school that's been working there for like 40 years now, and he still gets paid around the same. Like, maybe $1 or $2 up.
That's wild. It's absolutely wild. Like, if you are as proud of your work as you are, then stand up for yourself. And I don't want that sounds antagonizing. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way, but I'm like, we should stand up for ourselves because we are worth a lot more than what we're getting.
And also, I want to go back to, I worked at Blackstone Films, right. Blackstone Entertainment.
Right.
You can email Blackstone Films at blackstone-films.com. Rentals at blackstone-films.com. I was told that I need to be perfect in order to get more of a pay raise. That was literally what he told me. I was pretty fucking good. Perfect is not attainable. As a human, we all know that. You know, there is no such thing as perfect. Your fucking white homies are not perfect. They show up late to shit. They fucking make a fool of themselves on set. They smoke weed. I'm a sober, Mexican, hard fucking worker, dude.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm proud. I'm proud of being sober. I'm proud of being Mexican. It's not something that I have to live with. And I'm tired of being looked at it that way. And that company is mad racist. And I'm not afraid to say that.
Yeah.
They are very racist. You know, the owner, Chad, his dad told me that whenever he takes a dump, he says that he's taking Rodney King to the pool.
Yeah.
And that's not a Mexican person, but that's fucking racist. I can only imagine how he talks about me, you know? Aside from that, I'm brown too. Maybe if you don't have enough fucking whatever blood in your fucking asshole, then it comes out browner than blacker, you know? And you say, I'm taking Gerardo to the pool.
That's a hostile work environment. Like for him to let his dad come through and say all that racist bullshit to us. Like, and we just have to fucking, that's really funny, Mark. Like, why? It's
not even sorry to cut you, not even like in the workforce. Like I know people today that they're the one colored friend in their group of black friends, and that's how they've been since childhood. And so when you ask them about stuff like this, they're like, I don't care. And it's like they say that now, they're never going to admit to you that they give a fuck or that it hurts them that they have to do that, because they're worried that if they speak up or cause a fuss that you'll stop talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They literally have to do that to survive in the environment that they've been put in.
Yeah. And also when I asked for this pay raise, Chad responded by not answering to my text messages or my calls.
No respect.
When he knows that my livelihood is that pay.
Yeah.
In his mind, I need every paycheck. I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and that's okay with him. And I wasn't, by the way. I was saving money preparing for this move of quitting. Yeah. I mean, I made sure that he paid me on time so that he knows that he needs to treat me with the same respect that he treats other people. He needs to prioritize my work because I prioritize his company. Right. I made myself available, and I expected to be paid for 3 years of being available 6 days a week at least, and any time of day. And, you know, and him taking advantage of that. And if you want to take advantage of that, then you have to pay me correctly.
Yeah.
No, I 100% agree. And one thing I wanted to also point out, you know, him saying that you need to be perfect in order to deserve a raise. He's not perfect.
Yeah, he
started this company with zero experience. He didn't so for him to come out and say like that you need to be perfect, and not to allow you room to grow or like the benefit of the doubt that that just shows like people like that, they don't care about you as a person.
Yeah.
Like they don't respect you as a person. I mean, that's why they fight to pay us so little. I remember when you were saying that like me and our friend should be paid more, and he responded with, "That's crazy. Yeah. Why would I pay them that much?" Like he told me to hire somebody with experience. I did that, and I just saw the same result, and it's for some other fucking reason. And I'm not saying there was a reason. I'm just saying in his mind he can connect to making that okay. This is how much this job pays when other people are paying $22 an hour starting. Yeah.
$22 an hour in the same industry.
Yeah.
For the same work, for higher clientele. We're working with Lyrical Lemonade, Brat, Inc. These are videos that have millions of subscribers on YouTube, and that's how they make their money. And YouTube is not a fucking flimsy platform. They make a lot of money off of ad revenue. Mm-hmm. He asks for a lot of money to use the gear. And we should be asking for more money because we provide excellent service. And it's not perfect, but it is excellent. I mean, dude, us driving everywhere, not getting compensated for driving, like the fucking hazard pay that should be involved. Sorry for cussing. You know, like everything about that job was hazardous. You know, you step on a sandbag, you twist your ankle. I don't have fucking medical benefits.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And the thing too is like there's always that like argument of like, well, it's gonna cost, like it's not cost effective to do these things, and that's complete bullshit. Like every benefit we already have came from a company realizing that if they take care of this for us, we're more productive.
Yeah.
Like the idea of having the weekend off came because Ford was like, well, if everyone's working all the time, no one's available to buy my fucking cars. Mm-hmm. So have the weekend off, and here's the money you need to buy the car. And now I have customers that work for me. Isn't that great? Like fucking, to use like a modern example, Walmart and Amazon had the biggest years individually last year because of COVID.
Yeah.
Amazon was not, you know, I'm not going to, I don't speak for the company. I don't work for the company. I know several people that I won't say their names that were not getting accommodated. And at least one of them I know personally quit to go to Walmart because Walmart's the same kind of company, except they fucking raised the minimum wage to accommodate the people affected by COVID because they have to go to work during a pandemic.
Yeah.
And it's like, they still had a successful year. They had just as successful a year, and it didn't cost them anything that they couldn't afford to spend. Meanwhile, Amazon was literally the highest grossing company of all time, and yet their employees are getting paid less than minimum wage still.
Yeah.
And these are people that have worked here at least a year and a half or more. And it's like, it's dumb.
Yeah. And also, if you're a Latino that says stop complaining, fuck you.
Jesus.
I'm tired of hearing that, dude. I am tired of hearing that. I used to work as a maintenance man at Costco. We're cleaning shit off toilets, dude. And I'm getting paid $11 an hour.
Right.
You know? How is that okay?
Yeah, it's not. It really is not. If you work, that's okay. So the whole thing, I'll touch back about the Mexicans saying that stuff, but it's like the idea that like you should be getting paid a fair amount based off of what the company is bringing in. That's why like when sports players, NBA players and all, they fight for pay raises, the college kid, like everybody tells them, no, shut up and play ball. Like, oh, your life is so hard.
Shut up and dribble.
Shut up and dribble. All that stuff. It's like, no, like sports brings in millions and billions of dollars of revenue a year.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if, and it's based off of the performance of the players. Yeah, they live a privileged life and all this stuff, but like, if the managers, if the owners are taking in billions of dollars, it's because of the players. Nobody's gonna show up to the stadium just to sit and look at the fucking ground. Like,
imagine if the players had fucking power.
Yeah,
and that's what every fucking sports team owner is terrified of.
Yeah,
they want to have the power. They want to make the decisions. They want to be able to tell their fucking players what to do. I was gonna say another word, but it is in essence paid slavery in a way.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of argument. You're on a contract. You can't make more than this money. And in the NCAA, you can't make money off your likelihood. You can't use your name to make money.
Yeah.
Which is bananas.
But they can.
Yeah, they can use they use you. They can advertise that we have whoever I don't know, I haven't been following college basketball recently, but whoever they have on their team, like they can advertise that as like, come see this guy. He's an amazing person. And they don't make any money off of that because it's education.
And they say that they get a full ride scholarship and all this stuff. Like, yeah, that's beneficial. I agree. But at the same time, like, look,
but they're outstanding athletes.
Yeah.
They should be paid more than just a scholarship.
Yeah.
School should be free, but that's another fucking episode.
Yeah. But yeah, that should be the base, like the base for coming into college sports is you get a scholarship. That should be baseline. That's what you get. But on top of that, if your game brings in, $1 million a game, the team should get a cut of that. The college coaches get paid more than school presidents. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why are they able to get so much money? What do? They train these athletes, right? And they put on a show and they win games and get people to come and watch. They make money in streaming broadcast revenue, advertising, all kinds of shit. Workers should get paid a fair amount of what is coming in. Yeah. That's the bottom line. And so like, you're saying like all these Mexicans that are Mexicans. All these Mexicans that are in our comments, like telling us like not to complain and that we're crybabies and stuff because we're asking for our worth. It's like, dude, like I want the same for you. I respect you for working as hard as you do and you provide for your family. That's fucking tight. You're amazing for doing that. But again, like know your worth. You're worth so much more than what you're getting.
Yes.
Yeah. And sorry, dude. And also kind of to speak to the people that are, like, again, you mentioned other people are like, oh, people just want stuff for free. It's like, no, like to show that we're not hypocrites. Like if you're not doing a good job, you deserve to be fired. Like, if you're bad at the job, I will say I've only ever gotten fired once and it was justifiably, there is a story behind that. My brother was my manager and he did have to take me home that day.
I had to fire my brother.
But why did you get fired though?
There was so I was working with one supervisor in a department technically by myself. And it was just a thing where the margin of error was too great for the capacity of orders that I put out. It was maybe 4 in 100, but at the time, like I'm only getting 100 a week. So that's That's not 4%. It's like 10% or something. Like, it was just too high for too consistent that, you know, it was unaffordable, which is justifiable because it was something I could correct that I was just slipping at. And I would say there's other, you know, defining like factors that led into it, but there were factors that could have been dealt with that weren't.
But why were you fired? Just because the miscalculations?
Just too many mistakes.
I was making mistakes packing orders.
Okay.
And it was arguably a small margin of error, but it was a margin of error that was too consistent and just slightly too large to be affordable to deal with. If I wasn't the only one working there, and if the margin of error was like 4 out of 1,000, then probably it wouldn't have been a problem. But I was the only one on the job, and so it was like the ratio was just too great.
Yeah.
Which is justifiable. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if I'm doing a bad job, then yeah, I deserve to be covered. But if I'm not, and I will say this to this company, they, you know, cared about their employees in the sense that they knew that if they took care of us, that it takes care of the company. Even when they were letting me go, they accommodated me as much as possible so that I wouldn't, you know, so I could find another job afterward and like get benefits until I got, you know, they did do their best to take care of me in firing me.
On that note, when it came to me quitting Blackstone, I had a lot of built up resentment. I'm not going to lie. Mm-hmm. You know, he claimed that every time I spoke to him, it was about getting a pay raise. I asked him for a pay raise twice in 3 years. And that's the only times that I saw a raise in my pay.
Yeah.
You know, and on the third time, on the second time is when he freaked out on me. So anyways, I held the resentment. I let it go by just quitting. Right. Mm-hmm. If you make that kind of move, first of all, be financially prepared. And second of all, don't let one person's actions change your own. In a way where I knew that the way that he dealt with this kind of conflict was by just cutting me off. Not giving a fuck about my livelihood, not giving a shit about who I am. That's who he is as a person. It's not going to change me. I'm not going to become vengeful and try to get my fucking, I don't know, return on the action, I guess. You know, right. I was borrowing lights from him. I didn't keep the lights. I returned them. Mm-hmm. You know, I had a louver here. A louver's anyways, you don't know it doesn't fucking matter. I returned that to him also. Mm-hmm. And the keys to the shop, the keys to his truck, returned everything. He asked me for a letter of resignation because in his mind, I'm a Mexican that just wants unemployment, right? He doesn't want it to seem like I got fired. He needs a letter of resignation. So the number one thing he always asked from every employee that was let go or that wanted to get a higher raise, he always said, well, ask for the letter of resignation. And I would tell him, no, you fucking ask him for that because I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
You need to pay them more.
Yeah.
You know?
That letter of resignation stuff is bullshit. I hate that when you get forced into quitting.
Yeah.
You get let go and then they make you sign a piece of paper.
Yeah, he's the one that did not hit me up again. How am I resigning? Anyways, I left that day. I gave him the keys. He did not contact me before that. I just showed up to the shop. He was there, not doing fucking anything, not hitting me up, which drives me even more crazy. Gave him the keys, gave him the lights, and he asked me for the letter of resignation. I went home and I gave him one because I'm not going to let somebody else's actions change my own.
Yeah.
I mean, karma will come back around, you know? Yeah. He still works with these big companies. I'm sure he's getting even bigger companies, but I don't know. The karma will come back around. I don't need to see him burn. It's not, dude, it's not going to help me succeed, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just if you do want something, do it in the right way. You know, I was financially prepared to quit. I now work producing podcasts for literally the same amount of money that I was making there, which is crazy because it's a lot less work and it's not as much stress, which is something that I'm dealing with my insomnia and stuff. You know,
yeah.
I feel like I need an amount of stress that I don't have, and so I'm trying to stress myself out while sleeping, you know, or when I should be sleeping.
Yeah.
Like trying to think of things that I haven't done yet that I need to do when really I have jack shit to do. I don't have a job. I freelance podcasts. That's all I do, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, I feel better now.
I mean, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Glad you let it out, man.
Yeah, that reminded me of a story about, I did have a work story about, so as I mentioned, that was the only job I was ever let go from, and I feel it was justifiable. Any other job, I either left because I had better, it sucks that you can't be honest, like, during an interview process.
Yeah.
When, like, because I had to take interview training for a program I was in, and they tell you, like, you can't be honest about why you quit if you quit a place. And it's like, I don't fucking get it. Like, I only ever quit twice. One of them was I found a better opportunity. One of them was the boss was a piece of shit. Like, she's racist and sexist. And I'm going to say that. And I don't... I want to be clear because of, I don't think that she was sexist because she preferred women over men in the work. It was because of why she preferred women over men. Definitely more women should be in the workforce in general as a whole, and they should have more opportunities. But she only preferred working with females because of a statistic that she read. We worked for a cafe, and I worked with Dom. A statistic that she read that
more men would come in and buy from cute girls, so she was putting her employees in an unsafe work environment.
Exactly. Yeah, there was a statistic that cute young women are perceived friendlier, and you get more of a male audience in bars and cafes if all of your employees are female of a certain age group. So she hated that everyone that worked for her was a male who was like slightly above or out of that age group. She treated us badly because she didn't want to work with us, but we were the only people that were applying to the job. The ironic thing, back to what you're saying about karma, is like she finally did, once we all started quitting because she treated us like shit, she started hiring more women and like finding more, and they were all terrible at the job because all she cared about were that they were the right age and they were the right like size. Like, she cared about how they physically looked. And that they, sounded friendly, but they were all shit workers.
Yeah.
And not to say that, this is not hating on women, but it was like,
not in any way.
But the thing was that we worked hard to learn about the product and to be able to be good salespeople. And the people that she hired, like, she didn't train them to be good salespeople, and so they weren't.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't in them to become good salespeople. They were just like, oh, it's a cool job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm definitely not saying like that women of a certain age aren't good workers. I'm saying that she didn't care about anything but physical appearance, so she didn't put any work into training them, and then was surprised when they weren't good at the job.
Dude, these people, like he was saying that she was racist. So like there was 2 white people and 3, me, him, and my older brother were all working there. 2 white people and us. Guess who she asked to bring in proof of having a social security number?
The Mexicans.
The Mexicans.
Well, yeah, also, whenever...
And she herself is an immigrant. Sorry to cut you off.
Like, I worked at the Improv in Ontario as a dishwasher. And I knew that I can get in as a dishwasher. I did not want to be a cook again. I love cooking, but I hate the, like, what is it? Large scale cooking, basically.
Right.
I don't want to cook. Fuck cooking. I'm a good dishwasher. I dishwashed forever. And I was really good at it there too. And I didn't use a dishwashing machine. I would wash everything by hand before this job.
Yeah.
So this job had a machine. I'm like, fuck it, this is going to be easy as shit. But when I got hired, I speak like I do. I don't speak Spanish. All the cooks speak Spanish in the Ontario Improv kitchen. Mm-hmm. And maybe not anymore because of the pandemic or not. I don't know. I don't know what they're like now. But I told the general manager I would love to be a door guy. I'm a comedian. And let's make some like roadmap to success where I could become a door guy.
Right.
And I will be excellent at my job. I'm a very friendly guy, and I'm a greeter at AA now, like I love saying hi to people. So he told me 2 months from now, we'll talk about you becoming a door guy. Right. Mm-hmm. 2 months passed and I came to his office and he offered to fire me. He said, you know what? I will give you another chance. When I was doing my job perfectly fine. Right. He made some confusion where I was supposed to come in on a day and I didn't come in when the schedule that I showed him showed that I wasn't supposed to work that day.
Right.
Maybe they changed it. Maybe they didn't let me know. All it did equate to was the fact that he told me that he wants to fire me today, but he's going to let me stay as a dishwasher. I walked back to the kitchen. I said bye to everyone, went back to his office, said, fuck you, and left.
Yeah.
Because, dude, I pulled my end of the bargain. Mm-hmm. I did the best I could at that job so I could become a door guy. I had my eyes set on a prize, And as little as it is, a door guy at the Ontario Improv, dude,
yeah.
What the fuck is that to hold from me,
Yeah.
And you have other people that aren't comedians that, like, the culture of a comedy club is a comedian is the door guy.
Yeah.
They're starting out. This is their story. You could be a part of that. You're fucking lucky to be a part of my story.
Yeah.
Now you're in a negative light. I don't know. Fuck. I don't give a shit how good I am at comedy. Wherever I go in life, you will always be the guy that told me something that didn't follow through with it because I'm Mexican. There is no other white fucking dishwasher there. All the white people were making tips off of bringing fucking drinks to people.
Yeah.
The easiest fucking job. and I was paid $12 an hour.
Yeah. Why do you think that Mexicans are always back of house?
Yeah.
Because they work hard and they'll take the pay.
Yeah.
That's
You
like
know.
going back to that fucking lady we worked for. I don't want to harp on it too much, but
Harp away, dog.
That's what this is. We're just
that was like
complaining.
a thing, and I don't want to talk shit about this other person, but they were white and they got promoted to assistant manager over our brother who had been working there longer and was literally the best salesman.
Yeah. Highest sales, most knowledge. Like,
He could get the highest sales on the worst fucking day, and it was never acknowledged. Like,
Yeah. And like there's so many fucking arguments to what we're saying, and I'm
Yeah.
sure that people are going through the Rolodex in their minds.
yeah.
Like
she also like tried to fire me. Like she did this thing where she tried to make it a thing where I was always late, but she was always asking me to come on the days I had school because I was going to school at the time.
Yeah.
10 minutes after I was out of school, I had to take the bus to her job, and if I was late, she would try to hold it against me. And it's like, you're telling me you're not even asking me with any advance notice. You're asking me on the day to come in 10 minutes. And it's like, I just got out of school.
Yeah. And the arguments that would be against what we're saying is basically the argument that a lot of people had against Chappelle coming out asking for the rights for his show.
Yeah.
That he signed a bad deal. And from my experience, it's the only deals I get. I can type at 90 words per minute. I've applied to so many fucking office jobs in my life.
Yeah.
I can prove that I could type 90 words per minute. I've been typing my whole fucking life.
Yeah.
I do the subtitles for shows that I used to do for other podcasts that I produce, and I'm so effective and efficient with my typing. 90 words per minute at like 97% efficiency.
We have the nitro type receipts.
Yeah, I got the receipts, dude. Plenty of just random shit that I have to type that I'm able to do so quickly. I have the brain of a fucking manager, but I'm always offered to be a dishwasher,
Yeah.
Right.
And the opportunities that are given to me are the ones that I have to take. How am I supposed to fucking live, dude, without money? And that's probably the sentiment that carries along with a lot of Latinos.
Right.
We have to work for this fucking money. But it's not just because it is that way does not mean that it's okay. For some fucking people, it is okay. And you know what? More power to you, dude. Like if you enjoy it, if that's what gets you hard when you go home at night, then continue to fucking work for little pay, dude.
Yeah.
But I frankly am way too talented at everything that I do. Fuck you guys if you don't think so. And I, it is something that you should, you have to really gauge yourself. Know your own value, know your worth.
Yeah. And I can tell you right now, I had 5 years experience as a manager.
Yeah.
Of, a multi-million-dollar company. We were literally given training by HR. They don't care about the employee. Like, we try to treat our employees well, I'll say that much. Like, we definitely try to pay fairly, but the company, they would coach us and say like literally you can fire people for calling them. You can call them in because it's based on the needs of the company. So if you need them to work overtime, it's required. You can require them to work overtime. If you need them to come in on their day off, if you need them to change their schedule, if you need to not have them not come in, anything, like literally a company has so much rights to, especially in like California is a right to work state. Companies have so much like protected rights to just fuck up your schedule, to fuck up your life. And if you can't conform to whatever they needs at the drop of a dime, they have every right to fire you. And that's not right. Like that shouldn't be possible. Now, I never tried to do any of those things, but I was always reminded that I had the right to let anybody go for that. And let me tell you something, give it little tips out there. If you're having issues as a worker, document everything.
Yeah.
Document everything. So that you have the receipts and shit, I forgot what the other thing was, but document everything because they are going to use everything that they can against you. And they just at the end of the day, all they care about is profits and everything's based on the need of the company. And they can fire in California in right to work states. They can fire you for any reason as long as they don't give a reason. All they have to say is based on the needs of the company. We can no longer keep your employment and you can get laid off. So because if they give you a reason, then you can fight it.
Yeah.
But if we don't give a reason, you can't fight it. And they just say, see you later.
It's ridiculous.
I will say, this company definitely, all in the vein of what was best for themselves, but still, this company was as fair as possible. I do want to make that clear because, Like, there was a guy that was hired and immediately put in assistant manager, and he was I'm tired of saying piece of shit, but he was annoying, and he took advantage, but they gave him, like, everything that he asked for.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's the thing, though. It's not about whether or not they do it. It's just like Richard Montañez said, you will always love your company more than they love you. Like, I was reminded constantly of my rights as a manager to just let anybody go that I wanted, and how to do it. So, like, just know that they know that companies know their rights, so you should know your rights.
Yeah,
and you should fight for your worth.
Yeah, I think we should wrap it up now. I don't know how long we've been doing. It's probably a bit of a longer episode, but yeah, I mean, thank you for listening. If you make it this far, thank you so much. We appreciate you so much. Obviously, this is just us being mad this episode, but who gives a fuck? I mean, me being mad. You know, you guys are pretty controlled.
I mean, it's upsetting stuff. I'm trying to not bring so much angry energy to every single episode. We'll have uplifting, lighthearted episodes, but
but for now, it's like the brick. Like, you know, we just started this podcast. This is something that I've wanted to say. People that don't even know me watch this shit.
Yeah,
and I just want to say that I appreciate you guys. I mean, whatever you feel is right to do, you should do, and you know, stand up for yourself, basically. And thank you, and continue to watch our podcast.
Yeah, I don't want things to be negative all the time, and I'm not trying to just put out anger at all at every single episode. But I want I think it's important that we share these stories, and if you're still here, you're listening. Like, again, I want this to inspire you to rethink how maybe you work at your company, and take a close look at if they're valuing you as they should be. So hopefully that's what you take away from it. You know, we want you to have value.
This will be my last thing, but to do the official, like, the positive thing to take from this is know your worth and don't be afraid to ask questions. Yeah. And if you're the kind of person that talks down on that shit, you're a piece of shit. I said it for like the 6th time today. Hashtag. No, I'm trying to be uplifting. I shouldn't do like that. But yeah,
you're going to add hashtags now?
No, you have value. As long as you're working your artist, you have value, and that's worth something.
All right, well, yeah, that's been Isimo. Thank you so much for watching again. I said it like 5 times. Follow us on Instagram if you enjoy what we do at IsimoPod, ISIMOPOD, and email us at isimopod@gmail.com. We frequently go live on our TikToks. I'm sure that's where all of you guys know us from. Just join us whenever we do. I try to do it twice a day, like 1 in the morning, 1 at night. I do a lot of other work though, so no promises. But yeah, follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube, obviously, subscribe the video, subscribe and like the video. Yeah.
Leave a comment.
You guys are doing amazing, by the way. We try to respond to every comment. I don't know if that's annoying or not. I frankly don't care. It's just new to us. If we're doing anything that annoys you, let us know, especially if you're this far. You know, I mean, it's just like rinse and repeat type thing. Like, if it's working, continue to do it. That's why we're doing what we do, you know?
Yeah. Should we do we want to do shout-outs? Because there's one guy I do want to shout out, because he's literally following us on everything. Yeah. And he comments on every video, and fucking he's in all of our lives. And
give it a shot.
On all of our lives. Aztec God. I don't know what his real name is. That dude is dope. I shouted out yesterday. He's supported us on fucking everything.
Yeah.
Shout out Aztec God. Shout out Victor. Shout out JT. Shout out who else?
Cuevas. Ayanita.
Alejandra. Yeah.
There's so many people. You know.
We should do like what is it? We pick a guy each time and we'll shout him out, kind of a thing.
I mean, we just shout out like 8 people.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. If you want to shout out, comment below for a shout out, especially if you're this far. Shout out.
Hell yeah, dude. If you watch to the end, we'll definitely...
Use code ISIMO20 at Legacy Teas and Spices for 20% off your order.
Should do a password at the end of the episode. If you say that, we'll shut it out.
We're done.
Alrighty. Have a good night, y'all. Later.
Bye. I almost did that thing. We shouldn't do that because that's that other podcast.
Oh, yeah.